content for NBA until like 6 o'clock.
Like help get your initial set in mind right and all that stuff. I think.
Yeah.
I think it's still beneficial, but I'm
just. By the way, we're on. Yeah,
I'm going to have to get up and pick up a couple things from the door at a couple times during this show, so just bear with me, guys. And it's going to be a lot of juggling going on. So, Sheets, go ahead, keep talking.
Yeah. So, I think that you get a sense for what to expect and things to look for. I mean, there's certain things that you don't expect. I like this the Lowry thing. First of all, at least they'd let us know 4 hours before the game starts.
That I appreciate.
But it would be nice considering that Toronto's going to do that. That maybe Fox should announce whether he's playing or not. That'd be nice.
Yeah, the thing I'm doing with that is I have a little less Halliburton than I want, and I might have to leave some money on the table. But I have enough pieces of that game because of all that stuff opening up that I think this is gonna come down to construction tonight's slate. You're going to have to try to win this slate. You're going to either play the late games or you're going to deal with the variance of not waiting on news that we're going to need. Because I don't think we're going to know entirely before lock. We can sort of skip the first game, I think, in general. I do have a couple Chris Paul things in some tournaments on FanDuel and smaller buy-ins, but it's not a play that I need to play. So I think that's the first part. That's 30 minutes. That buys us 30 minutes.
Well, let's do this first. So I have a FanDuel. Let's build a lineup with like what I consider the best plays, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
And again, I'm just putting it in order based on without ownership or anything like that. So I have Karis LeVert. I have Norman Powell. For now, we'll fight about this, but between Vooch and Thies, I'll put in Vooch for now, just to hold it. Let me see if I can get all these
Vooch too. I mean, if I'm not using Thies, that's who I'm using mostly. He and Robinson.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna be able to get in everything that I want as far as like spend ups go. So now what I'm doing here is I'm kind of this re-ranking purely by by points per dollar. See if that kind of helps me.
Yep.
And then what I'm doing is I'm ranking it by who's probably a great play. We'll get to that in a second. I was gonna say, okay, so even with points per dollar, Norman Powell is kind of the nuts today.
Yeah.
So Thies is definitely better points per dollar. Let's leave Vooch in now for now though. Let's see if I can't make it work. So power forwards, my best. So funny are still.
I'll be right back here. Go ahead, Sheets. Do your thing. Sorry about that.
Are still Brandon Clark, and then we'll argue about all this later. And then I still have Jay Crowder as my second favorite, but Draymond Green I can get talked into, and then you know who else I can get talked into? Is Khem Birch going to be popular or no?
I don't think so. Where do we have Khem Birch even projected for minutes? I haven't come across as much of him today.
Well, I wouldn't play him with Vooch in the same lineup, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't want to hold on, let me try something real quick. Birch. So what about Gary?
They have no players, including Aaron Gordon.
Gary Clark.
Gary Clark.
It's the more secure minutes. Say what you will or whatever. You could get 30 minutes out of it. If we have no Fournier, Gary Clark and Bacon are going to have to do something on the court because.
All right, my next favorite, my small forward is RJ Barrett. Still,
I have very little Barrett. I don't know if I have a tiny bit.
I just want to see what it looks like, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can turn it into an actual lineup here. So LeVert and then Van Fleet, and then I have a shitload of money for point guards if I which would be nice. So I have okay. So the value at point guard for me is still, and we'll be able to move up, is Peyton and Cole Anthony. Okay, so this leaves us an extra $6,400 that we can just kind of move up to like actual high performing players, right?
Sorry about that. I got to run for 1 second.
Okay, so I'm just kind of talking. this out. So the first guy I'm up to would be either Vooch, Tatum, Giannis. So hold on, Vooch. I'm writing this down. Vooch, Tatum, Giannis, Jaylen Brown, or Harden. Okay. All right.
Okay.
You there? So I had $6,400 to spend here. So I'm trying to think of who I want to move up to between the following 5 guys: Harden, Vooch, Tatum, Giannis, and Jaylen Brown. So
over which
over any of these guys, I could. So I think the guys I'm least confident in is these power forwards. So I can get right up to Giannis. I feel like it, right?
Yeah.
So I could just go almost perfectly up to him. So that leaves 300, and that leaves me with Jay Crowder in the power forward. So that the only thing about, and I could just basically just save this and just be kind of done, but this is probably going to be pretty chalky, right? Okay. But this doesn't have Tice, right? It's got to be something.
It's hard for me to see your whole screen, especially when it's jumping around. So it's like hard. It's.
Oh, really?
I'm trying to see. Yeah, but you don't. I mean, Tice is not as much of a you need to have him as much as he's a good value play. Like, you know what I mean? If you want to go a different route with your lineup, that makes a lot of sense to me. I don't think that's going to be. I'm gonna take a quick look at my ownership projection on Tice.
This is my main thing right now. So right now I have Peyton and Anthony at point guard, LeVert and Fred VanVleet at shooting guard, Norm Powell and RJ Barrett at small forward, Giannis at power forward, Crowder at power forward, and Vooch at center.
Okay, so you're going all chalk except for Crowder.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, that's how you start, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, of course. I'm not criticizing. I'm just stating it.
So now what I want to do is I want to see if I can find, like, number one, like and I'm talking this out, an individual pivot, right, for any of these guys, or just kind of like a stack type of thing. You know what I mean? Where, like, do I like anybody from, for example, like Memphis, right? It might not be the greatest projected player in the world, might be kind of low owned. Like you could pair LeVert. Or likewise, you know what you could do? How popular is Harden going to be today?
I don't think he's going to be very popular.
So that's what we're going to do. So what we're going to do.
Yeah, let me just say that there's so many good plays at shooting guard. It's almost impossible to like envision a world where Harden actually is popular to me. But I mean, I would be stunned beyond stunned if he's more than like 6%. So,
like, for example, I mean, if I use Anthony and Vooch, and then we can run it back with who's going to be more popular, VanVleet or LeVert?
LeVert.
All right, so let's get rid of him. We'll put in Harden, and this 50 to disperse that power force. So already, regardless of what I do, I faded LeVert. I have a low-owned Harden, spending a shitload of money to get there. And I'm kind of stacked a little bit because I have Harden and Vooch in the same lineup, and I also have Harden with Cole Anthony. Okay. And I'm a little bit. Oh, this could be interesting. So I have Peyton and Barrett over here. I wonder if Darius Bazley's not the worst play in the world.
I actually don't think he's a bad play. I don't think he's an ideal play.
No, it's not an ideal play.
All right. I'll throw in my thoughts whenever you need them.
Go for it.
I'm trying to figure it out too a little bit, but like, so
just give me some ideas because I want to figure out myself too. So power forward in general. That's what I'm looking at right now. I like guys up to the top. I like guys at 5,100 and very little in the middle. What do you think of Bagley?
So I'm open to him. I like Clark and Draymond as my two favorite. My two favorite, like, whatever ranked guys, and I like Zion and Giannis. Those are my main use guys. That's pretty much like most of it for me. But I'm running into some spots where I'm almost wondering why I'm playing Tice in some of my FanDuel lineups. Not that I don't think it's a good play, just that if he's going to be that popular, yes, he should put up the points, but you can win the position with he's not going to be the highest scoring player at the position. And on FanDuel, when that happens, unless the value is so extreme and we expect him to like 10x, I don't think you need to go with that type of build personally. So I'm gonna see. We got the Q tag removed off of Holmes? Is that right? No, he's listed. Oh, he isn't listed. He's not listed on the injury report. So Holmes is a go, which actually makes Bagley worse by a lot because there was that upside potential of potentially Fox and him being out. Still, Bagley's a huge boost from just Fox being out on usage alone. I'm trying to find any other centers to play other than Vooch and Vooch Robinson, and I don't really have any other ones. The Cousins would be my other one if we get news on Wood. But I don't really see a whole lot of other centers other than the three obvious ones, which are, to me, Robinson, Vooch, and Tice.
I have. So you want to see how an ultra chalky lineup becomes like mega contrarian in just a brief second? Watch this. So wait, I'm gonna surprise everybody with this one because I think this is gonna be no one's gonna do this. Let me just see something. What's his price? I don't want to ruin it. Ooh, is this possible? Hold on. It's 2 and then. So how many people? Yes.
Here, just I can't. I got to edit my lineup, so I can't look.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Sorry about that.
How many people are going to play the old Blake Griffin, Devin Booker combination?
No one.
Nobody,
I like
right?
it though a little bit actually. I think I was considering that exact move on FanDuel earlier today, and I think that they're like just because Blake hasn't put up a game in a little bit. Like I mean, he still put up 45 in the first game of the season. Like he can put up 40 fantasy points.
Let me tell you why this is like totally nuts. Okay, now this is 1,000 lineups you can make. So this is the way I like to think about it for those watching. So all this kind of makes sense. So I have like an Orlando Houston stack with Anthony, Vooch, and Harden. Okay, I have Toronto and Sacramento because I still have Powell. I didn't get the top guys from Toronto, which is a little annoying. But and then I have Bagley, and that's actually Powell's gonna be wherever. And then I got Payton and Barrett, and then I got Blake and Booker run back with one another. So it all kind of and like you said, we started off with literally 9 total chalk positions. And in like 3 seconds, we made it like completely unique that no one's going to have.
Yeah, I like it. Speaking of it's different than the way that I would build, but I like your lineup. I mean, I like it. I think there's a lot of lineups you're going to like tonight. A lot of things are going to look good. I'm sort of struggling because I really want to make like the hero play that I don't need to make, like which is it's not that big of a deal, but to play Hachimura at small forward over Joe Harris on the back-to-back. And with
why do you need to play Joe Harris?
He's 4,900.
Okay.
He's. I don't think you need to play him. Look, that's the answer. But I'm just thinking like, if I'm in that range, I'm finding myself in that range on FanDuel a little bit with the Powell Harris or Powell. So I'm just making some changes here. Sorry.
I really hope Curry plays. By the way.
I'm going to answer some QQs in a second because I need to distract myself from what I've got. I hope Curry plays as well. I think that it's bizarre that – so you can leave room, though. There's ways to mix it up on both sites where you can leave room. So one thing just I really want to touch on real quickly on DraftKings because I think it's important is you can play Fox. You can leave enough room and have like leave 500 and play Siakam or Van Vliet or whatever in there. And you're going to want to play Van Vliet if you're going to play Fox probably. But I actually am going to I might switch over from Siakam to Fox if Fox is in fact in. I'm a little nervous about the hamstring, but that's one. I mean, you could just shift that way. You can also shift over to Powell and Curry from 2 of the bigger guys, from the 2 Toronto guys. There's other ways you can do things if you find out late information that you can let your early starts or whatever somebody else went off maybe and you need to catch up more and you want to do something a little different. Just keep that stuff in mind going forward. Let me just do this real quick. It looks like Christian Wood is in, which is good to know. Yep, he'll start. Oddly enough, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to get a couple of my my little just 1v1 swaps in for Christian Wood versus Zion. I like Zion better. I just want to get some exposure to Wood because I don't want to go away from that take that I've had the whole time. What worries me here is that like Orlando's situation is really, 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 really important. And we need to know that before we do. I don't know. It's like I can't figure out what to do because that extra Fournier being out makes Anthony a much better play. and I would be willing to take like the 75% of them that I currently would, have them basically. It also does, it puts these other guys in play on DraftKings for me, whether we like it or not. Gary Clark, I like the Kem Birch idea. I'm going to go to a little bit of that. But I don't know that it just feels wrong to do against Houston, who tends to close. Well, they close small when they play Cousins. They'll play a little bigger with Wood. So actually Birch might make a little, I think that news actually does affect Birch. I'm sorry, I'm jumping all over the place, but that's because there's a lot of stuff going on.
So you're saying Christian Wood is in?
Christian Wood is starting.
Okay.
Sorry, Siakam. I'm gonna enter some QQs in a second, guys, because it'll help me get my bearings here. Oddly enough, I was playing RJ Barrett right as I said that. So there's my. Let's see, and then you get the Zion. Yeah. Okay, so
talk through what you're talking about.
Okay, so I'm just getting a little bit of Birch exposure. That's all I was trying to do there, and a little bit of Barrett, who I don't feel like I have enough of. But there's a lot of guys you're going to feel like you don't have enough of your guys. I'm currently at 80% LeVert on DraftKings, and honestly, you can make a much better argument for fading him today because of the size of the slate, the other potential possibilities, the back-to-back and the road travel. All of these things are reasons enough to justify fading LeVert if you want to go there. I still have a lot of them. I think I'll actually whittle a little bit of that down. Going back to FanDuel, I'll just go through the players who are at my positions. I do have one ball v ball lineup at point guard, but other than that, it's mostly Cole Anthony, Elf Payton, some De'Aaron Fox, believe it or not. We'll see how that one goes. Which I can switch to. I can pivot from Fox and Van Vliet to on FanDuel to Curry and Hield if I need to. You know what I'm saying? So if Fox is out for some reason, not if Curry's in, but if Fox is out and Curry's in, or if I've got another one with Curry and Hield where I can switch to Fox and Van Vliet. So that's just one thing to keep in mind in terms of these weird slates that we have to deal with. So point guards, Peyton, that's most of them. I have a tiny bit of Westbrook because I actually found some room and I have some Boston stacks, but I don't love it. It's a ridiculous price. I think he'll have a good game. I just started looking at like raw points wise. I can get him in pretty easily. Small forwards is where I'm playing Jason Tatum or I'm spending down pretty much. I am not playing enough of the middle ground. I have Kawhi Leonard too, actually ahead of Tatum a little bit in some of these lineups because I want some exposure to that lack of ownership. But do I need to get that creative on this slate? Probably not. It does feel like Kawhi on a giant slate just makes no sense to everybody, but he's at a price point where he's playable. And I don't know. It's just interesting when everybody's going to play Jason Tatum and nobody's going to play him. And it makes sense why they would. But it's interesting to just take that and say, okay, well, Kawhi can outscore Jason Tatum at least 25% of the time here.
I kind of liked Ingram.
I like that too. So you could play the Ingram. That's what else. The other one that's sort of more what you were talking about a little bit. Ingram Barrett would be the other one. But I really like the value. I mean, it's no lock, but I'm telling you, it feels kind of criminal not to try and take team guys a million minutes against the Sacramento team.
Who?
Anybody against the Sacramento team. They just don't play defense. Okay. So fading LeVert, people are going to probably do it more on FanDuel. I actually think it's a little bit harder because he's going to get some steals and blocks or some, he's just going to do all the things.
Right.
But there's also like a lot of good. I mean, shooting guard is freaking loaded. And I have a ton of, Buddy Hield, and for some reason, not for some reason, because he's been bad, no one's going to play him. Fine by me. Go ahead. I'll take all the Buddy Hield then. He's 5,200. He has the chance to probably put maybe the biggest ceiling versus points. He can score 50 fantasy points. It's very hard for LeVert to score 68 and Van Vliet to score 78, but it's possible. I also am finding myself in a lot of weird spots where I'm just going to have to leave 400 or 500 on the table on FanDuel.
Really? Yeah, I found that myself a little bit actually.
Yeah, I started realizing I was compromising plays, and one of them actually is Tatum and what's his name, Kawhi. My only argument with the Kawhi thing is, does he outscore him 25% of the time here? And I think the answer is yes. and you're going to get like 10-1 ownership discrepancies, I believe. Kawhi I've got at – oh, no, never mind. Actually, Kawhi jumped up. So actually that makes me less interested in him. And, yeah, Tatum's only going to be 2.5 times the ownership. So I originally had him at 4 times – 5 times the ownership. So now it's a little less interest in Kawhi for me over there. But I think Hachimura is an interesting play. I really do. I think you could see some Boston may go small here. And by the way, the weird part about it, them going small and saying we could use somebody else as a center, Tice has been starting at power. He's been playing their power forward position. You know what I mean? He's not even their center.
Right.
So it's not like him playing center is like a big reach. You know what I mean? But you might see some other guys in there. But either way, you can play Hachimura against Daniel Tice. So I just think he's kind of an interesting off the board GPP play where everybody's going to play Joe Harris because he had a monster game last night, and I like Joe Harris too. But I do think that Hachimura, getting him in some of those as a direct pivot is a good way to go. I'm going to jump into the chat and take a look at the questions now because I haven't really done that. Sheets, what are you thinking about right now? What are your DraftKings plays?
So what I'm doing right now is I'm compiling a stack of the Golden State game using Curry and Draymond with Kawhi. That's what I'm working on right now, actually.
Okay. Here, let me see. I got to jump on in here. Guys, give us the like button too, if you don't mind. While you're at it, I'm gonna answer some questions. QQ, am I still on Boucher at all? No, I'm not. Are you playing that on DK? No, I'm not playing Boucher. If I got, for some reason he was announced as a starter or something, I would play him. I don't know if this is the right slate to take that shot for him. Am I stacking the Boston game? I'm trying to, but it's a little bit. I'm not as high on the Boston, shockingly, the Washington side of it this time. I actually have a little Davis Bertans in some big lineups on DraftKings, which feels a little funny. Take a quick look at where he's actually projected because I do want to get to that. I think I will get some of it, but I don't. I think I slightly prefer Westbrook, but I don't feel so great about it. It's not like a good matchup for these guys.
So only because you brought him up. So just person versus person, Boucher versus Bertans.
Bertans.
Okay.
Boucher, I mean, could go nuts. I mean, Boucher is projected to play 19 minutes. It's not like a guy we should be talking about too much on this play unless we heard some other news come in. He was a wild card play, and he is a wild card play still. Like, he makes sense in some spots, but I'm not playing lineups that small to where I'm going to.
How about Bertans or Hachimura?
Bertans or Hachimura. They're different prices.
On DraftKings, they're the same price.
Oh, they're the different position. Bertans is just Bertans. I feel like is a little bit safer for the minutes and has the upside with the shooting. But I do like this matchup for, as I mentioned already, for Hachimura. So I would call that one very close.
Who do you think? No one's gonna have either of them, right?
I think Bertans will be higher owned. I think Bertans will have about 5 to 10% owners, somewhere in that range.
All right, so we solved that problem.
But maybe, like Rui, I'm starting to talk myself into this maybe a little bit too much.
What, Rui?
Yeah, there's a huge range of where this works out very poorly for me.
All right, so here's another thing I'm going to do. So this is what I'm accomplishing, guys. Again, is I'm trying to kind of power stacks in of guys that are not associated with these values necessarily, and then use the values to kind of to fill in the rest of them. If I use Giannis with Mitchell, it starts talking about all day, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm not as into Mitchell, but I understand it.
I got you. Anybody else in that game I want to use? Do you want to use? No, that wasn't Brook. You want to use Brook Lopez against Gobert?
No,
okay.
But I understand it. I just don't want to do it. I have to go to the door. Sorry, guys.
No problem. Who else from Utah? I could actually play Gobert, couldn't I?
I like Gobert on DraftKings a lot better. But yeah. I like him on both. No, that's not true. I like him on both sides. Do I really want to do this? Am I sacrificing too much to try and get Halliburton in on a speculation?
What are you trying to do?
I've got Halliburton in a lot of DraftKings. I've got him 55% on DraftKings right now.
Okay.
It feels a little fishy to me. And it's me doing it, so I should probably reconsider this. I'm going to take a quick look in the chat before I go and edit those things because I want to catch up on favorite GPP player. That's a big question to ask. Or value. Value, I like Tice. I'm playing Tice the chalk. I have a ton of interest. I already had a ton of interest in the Sacramento game, so I'm obviously going back there a little bit. I'm probably going to be over the field on LeVert, even though people will play him. I like Cole Anthony. I'm speculating on Gary Clark, a little bit on Kem Birch, a little bit on Dwayne Bacon. Let's see some other things. It's always hard to answer what's your favorite, because it's not always that simple. Just the favorite play. It's like it's correlated. There's a huge slate. I don't have a guy like the guy I have the most of is LeVert, but that's not anything off the board, obviously. Okay. Griffin or Baisley. I wouldn't play Griffin in the same price range as Baisley at all. It would be Baisley over the other two guys in that question. Mitch Robb on DK. Yes, I like Mitch Robb. Not my favorite DK center. Let's see who I'm using the most. Tice. I don't know what else to say. But
who do we like more on DraftKings, Tice or
is power forward eligible? What? Tice or who?
Tatum. Sorry, Tatum or Jaylen Brown.
Tatum on DraftKings. On FanDuel too, because of the position scarcity. I like Tatum better in this matchup, but I do like Jaylen Brown. It's just the price is it's pretty high, and I see Tatum crushing more than I do him there. I'm not a big fan. I like Otto Porter in general. This is pretty much the nut low matchup for him, so I'm not going to play him on a full slate. I did consider him for a minute earlier, but that was a moment lost in time. Can you still play Cousins? No, you cannot. Let's see what else there is. Let's see. Priced up on FD. Halliburton pivot. Halliburton, like working in any Halliburton pivot. So if you're asking who we pivot off of Halliburton, it really depends on when we get the news, because it's these other games. If we could find out before, some of the other 4:30 games, that'd be a different story. But I think right now I'm having trouble with the direct Halliburton pivot. So what I'm doing is setting up 2v2 pivots, which I sort of talked about a little bit. And I think we're pretty much caught up a little bit here. Let's see. Clark or Taco. I think Clark is the better play because you actually know he's going to play. And I don't see how Taco's going to stay on the court too long here. It's hard for me to picture, but I see. I don't know about the Rui thing. It feels speculative, but I am on it. Favorite game to stack would probably be the Sacramento game, but you don't know who you're stacking even yet, so it's a little tricky to say.
Right.
I also think the sneaky run backs. There's something in the. Brooklyn and Memphis is an under the radar one. Milwaukee and Utah more in a 1v1, 1v2 kind of a thing. Looking at who else we got here, what other games I was thinking about. Washington and Boston is the sort of obvious one, but I don't really know how many people are actually going to be able to do it. So maybe it's not so obvious as we thought. What's really bothering me is I think I might end up I can't end up without a Zion lineup. I just don't think I can do it to myself.
Yeah.
I'm playing 2 of the 21-20s. That's why I'm a little bit 2021s or whatever.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get my things right. I have 80% Tice right now on DraftKings. That's too much, probably. I think he's fine for it, but it's probably a little bit much. I'll be right there. That's what happens when you order and the food doesn't get delivered before the show starts. And I had to have a White Claw because the last time I had a White Claw on air, I ended up almost winning the big stuff. So,
hey, very nice.
We're giving it a shot. All right. So looking back at it, I do have Gobert in one of my big buy. Well, no, not one of my big. That was a different lineup. We need this Fournier news, man. Semi Ojeleye is going to play a ton of minutes tonight. Now he doesn't do much with those minutes usually, but he doesn't usually play. Well, he played 30. He put up 24 when he played 30 the other night. He's going to probably play 30 again. We could play him instead. I keep pivoting between him and Gary Clark in different places, which sounds really, really lame. But I don't want to do that. I would like to find out about later value. I would like to, what I'd like to do? I'd like to get more Norman Powell in on DK.
Norman Powell, he tends to take advantage of these opportunities.
He really does. And this is, look, you can't ask for a better matchup. There's really what else do you want from a matchup than this matchup? This is like the nuts. We saw what just Kobe White as an example the other night. You see like career highs every time someone plays Sacramento. It feels like Sacramento or Portland or Minnesota. That's what you tend to see. All right, LeVert. Let's see, Tice. I want to limit some of my Tice exposure. It just feels a little like I don't need to do it as much as I probably did do it. So, which will make us go to Robinson. You guys, keep firing QQs. I'll answer them again in about 10 minutes, maybe 5. So Bradley Beal is going to be 5% owned. What's funny is this happened last time when Bradley Beal last year, when he was scoring like 50 points, regular like points a game, and he had those back-to-back 50-point games, he went like 1% to 2%. And I'm just saying, when this guy gets cooking, like he's as good as, I mean, he can put up points as well as anybody else in the game. So I do think we want some, you definitely want to get some of them. Let's see. I'm talking to myself here because I have literally none of them at the moment.
Who is this?
Powell.
Actually, that's fine.
All right, we've got Cole Anthony. It's funny because Chris Paul is actually a pretty decent play today. But
What's that?
Chris Paul is like a decent play today, but I just sort of want to marry to not going into that first game, you know?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if Christian Woodbine does take away a little bit of my Vooch love, because I just felt like he had the easiest path.
Absolutely.
Didn't he have the easiest path ever to 50? It was going to be like, how did we not play him? Like,
Yeah.
But now it doesn't feel like maybe you have to as much quite. I'm very high on the Toronto guys. I was like, it's hard to not be high on a team that I was already high on. You know what I mean? I liked Lowry the best, actually, oddly enough, but these other guys are perfectly fine by me. Brandon Clark, if you're playing parts of Brooklyn especially, which usually you're going to be, I mean, I'm playing a lot of LeVert, so that's going to happen. I almost don't mind a Tatum and Brown situation here.
I don't mind that at all. I don't mind Marcus Smart on both sides.
Yeah, I think I think the ideal thing would probably be played Marcus Smart over instead of one of them. Jaylen Brown. It feels so wrong to click like Gobert over LeVert. I'm trying to limit LeVert, and every time I can't get him out of my lineups.
Yeah, he doesn't have to smash every game, and especially on back-to-backs traveling. I mean,
kind of does though. Like with the way, I mean, you saw how active. It's not like he had a good game, like shooting-wise or anything. It's not like he had an outlier performance. He actually had a downside performance. Most of the time in that spot, if he's as aggressive as he was with a 41% usage rate, he's going to put up 65 or 70.
Right, that's true.
So he was 9 for 25. Yeah.
He missed a couple open threes, I think.
Yep.
That's going to happen.
Yeah. It will. All right.
Are we supposed to just play these same nets as we did yesterday, or we don't? I guess they're different types.
I'm not as interested in the value, but I think that like TLC is okay because he did get to close. It was partly because he was shooting well. He and Prince and Harris, I all have as okay on DraftKings. Harris, I like a little better on FanDuel.
When do you think we're going to get starters in that game? Like 3 minutes before game time or something?
Or like right after? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good question today. The Hornets at least have released their starting lineup, which doesn't really do anything for us.
Just to make sure, yeah. So they're not starting LaMelo for some reason.
I like Bertans off the bench in that game. They're not starting LaMelo. Yeah, they don't start LaMelo.
No, I know. Just I figured maybe they would throw him.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping a little. There was a tiny part of me that was thinking it too. Like hey, maybe that'll work out. Let's see. Looking at, I think Joval is a big mistake. I see people going to him on FanDuel because of the weirdness at paying up at center. But I just think that on back-to-backs, this guy does not have a good history. Even his minute projection is only 26 because he always plays less on the back-to-backs. It's a good matchup, sure, but I think you're better off just playing Jared Allen instead, personally. I think there's a little more upside for minutes. But Joe Val, of course, could crush in 26 minutes too. So that's on the table.
Why don't
we don't have any other starting lineups? Wow, that's crazy. Not even the Pistons one.
why do I keep
By the way, how bad do I run to get Sadiq Bey Monday night right after I played him 1,000,000%, and he was my only weak link in all those top lineups, and he puts up 45 the next time out. Yikes!
Well, that we knew that. I mean, that was
it was a lock.
I mean, that's like,
It's kid stuff.
yeah, something like that.
All right, Fred VanVleet. Siak. I like these guys already. It's a little annoying to me to play them at some ownership, but it's such a big slate. I'm not going crazy over it. I'm not going to lose sleep over it, I don't think. Maybe I'll lose a little bit of sleep. Who knows? Draymond, really strong play, in my opinion. I really like Draymond tonight. Let's see. We got some news in. Cole Anthony likely to have his minutes managed. Are you
What?
What does that even mean? There's no detail on that. Jesus. Okay.
What does that mean?
That means I'm going to have less Cole Anthony than I originally did. If he's going to have his minute, who's going to play? Who the hell's going to play?
Like Dwayne Bacon season? I mean, like.
That makes me think that we're going to get a Magic starting lineup, though, probably pretty soon. Yeah, I think that, honestly, the sad part is the Dwayne Bacon thing may not be such a stretch.
Yeah, they're going to manage his minutes. You're only going to let him play 32 minutes or something?
Oh, my God. I need to know if Fournier's in, too.
I only have 68% Cole Anthony. Not a big deal. For minutes on a minutes restriction.
So Terrence Ross is just an absolute phenomenal play. Let's just go with it. Somebody's going to have to do something. And I like Vooch. I like Ross. Boy, oh boy.
That's like, but we're not allowed to complain because every year it's the same thing. It's like we expect something different.
Right, I know.
And it's not even like a late game. Like you got to decide right away.
Yeah. And we got to know. We need the Magic starting lineup. We need to know what's happening with Fournier too.
Oh, you think you're getting that, huh?
No, I'm not. Sorry, the lineup, you mean?
You think you're getting that info, huh?
No, I'm not that crazy, but I'm hopeful. I'm just trying to limit my God. Okay, so that just makes Elf just a much better play than on DraftKings, on FanDuel. Than Cole Anthony. So I only gonna probably have in my 4 big lineups on FanDuel where I was gonna have a ton of Cole Anthony. I'm probably only gonna have 1.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay, that's good with me. I can deal with 1 out of 4. The problem is I'm going to be playing him in one of my 2 big ones too. Unless we get some word on these minutes, hopefully we'll have some updated projections. I mean, that game doesn't start for another few hours anyway, or another hour. Okay.
Which one?
The Magic game.
Oh, that's not that bad then.
Yeah, we'll wait. Look, everything's going to be okay up until 4:30, so don't worry about just having it right by 7 Eastern unless you're for some reason playing a lot of the Phoenix Detroit game. Now that's okay to do, and some guys are okay plays, but it's just not what I'm gonna do. Okay. I actually think VanVleet might end up being more owned than LeVert on both sides. It's possible. I'm still liking this Gary Clark thing. What the hell's wrong with me?
What are you doing here?
So, if I'm thinking about Gary Clark versus Taco Fall, and it's usually I'd say you want the devil you don't know rather than the devil you know in this particular kind of game, but it just doesn't feel right to me.
I am not the slightest bit confident with Gary Clark, but I'm gonna have him though.
It's a minutes thing, and I don't love it either. I mean, or Ojeleye.
I had him the other day starting. He had 0 fantasy points. I mean, it was ridiculous.
I know he does that. Coming in. Joe Ingles is out, so that bumps up Donovan Mitchell. That bumps up Conley, and that bumps up Jordan Clarkson. I don't think I'm going to end up with Jordan Clarkson too much, but it's not a bad play.
Joe Ingles is out. It's 17, not even remotely close to time. So we're waiting for confirmation that Fournier is out, right? You realize if Fournier plays, he's a great play, right?
I realize he's a good play, but the problem that's the easiest pivot in the world. You got to just switch over to him and from Anthony. But like, I don't know how many minutes he's going to play coming back.
I mean, if he's going to play, he's going to play. No,
he should play around 30. He would probably play. I mean, yeah, but there's probably not the maybe. I don't know. It depends on the guy. And actually, for him, you're probably right. It probably is more that guy.
Do you want to get more details on this minutes restriction thing?
I don't have any. There's nothing else out there.
Shit.
Somebody in chat, if you guys don't mind, like taking a look on Twitter and see if there's anything we could find out from that. That'd be awesome.
I'm gonna go into my other Discords and see what that's all about.
Okay. Ingles out, Pritchard back. Is Pritchard in play tonight? No, Pritchard is not in play for me. Lonzo doesn't want to get shown up by his little brother. He's going to check. We'll see. Lonzo doesn't have that hard enough. I wish he did more a little bit. Anthony has a minutes restrict. We have his minutes being monitored. We don't have anything yet on that.
Yeah, I'm going to be monitoring his minutes too.
Yeah, I know exactly. I'll be monitoring him the whole day.
While he's playing, my guest son. Let's go.
Oh boy. This is not where I wanted to end up here. It really would be nice to run back some of that Memphis stuff. Just don't know how to do it. I think Terrence Ross is our answer to the question, like about who to like. He's our upside play. I actually think that with his price on DraftKings, let me just see where he's projected. He's like too high owned. You can get off of him, but Terrence Ross is projected at 1% ownership.
Terrence Ross is not going to be 1%.
You're right, but he's not going to be 20%. I mean, if Fournier is announced out, that's a different story. But if we don't have that news past lock, which even past lock is still fine because we have the time.
Let's see if I can dig through some of my Discords and see if anybody's got anything on this Cole Anthony business. Let's see if anybody changed their projections. Let's see what's going on here.
See what's doing.
Yeah, let's see what's up. He's in the up. Oh, so somebody's updating. It's updating to now we have a lot of Bone. Wait.
Bone, the other guard.
Right.
Boy, oh boy. Can we make that play?
Isn't let's see, 25 minutes. Josh Jackson, Cole Anthony playing tonight. Just kind of like looking at this. Ingles out. See that. Rivers in the though. Let's see. Playing Cole. Anyone else want to play Cole? T-Rush just going to check.
Dude, I still feel pretty good about Anthony, to be honest, right now.
Clarkson is a clean pivot up from Cole Anthony. That is true.
I actually think that there's merit to playing Clarkson. This game, I mean, especially we know how these games go, right? Like we've seen this story a million times with Milwaukee where they'll blow you out or whatever. Whatever. Clarkson can get a million shots off here. Nobody's going to complain about it. Yeah.
Why is Cole Anthony's minutes being restricted? He played 32 minutes his last game.
I have no idea what the answer to that question is, Shoots. I really
don't know what that means.
Totally confused. Why would you give a kid his first start and then announce you're monitoring his minutes? You know what? F this. Unless we get better news, which we might by 7:30 Eastern. We might stay on past lock here for a minute, guys, because I'm still trying to figure some things out.
I'm just going to leave you on then because I'm eating it.
Shoots might have to leave then, but I'm with you.
I'll leave it on though.
Okay, so we're trying to figure out Clarkson. But shout out to one of the guys in chat who was one of the first people. For some reason, my alarm didn't go off when Sexton was announced out with 3 minutes to go the other night. We got it from our Discord chat, so I wanted to give a little shout out to our guy. I just don't remember his name, unfortunately. But if you're out there, we appreciate you. That was really, really helpful. Another overlooked guy who originally was seeming like decent-ish value on both sides in certain spots is Devontae Graham. It does, you'd think this would be the ball thing and everything, but just nobody's going to play Devontae Graham. So go ahead and play Devontae Graham if you'd like. You have my blessing. Boy, it'd be nice to know what's happening in Sacramento. Man,
Well, I can't believe freaking Toronto announces that what's his name is out, but Sacramento can't announce their own guys.
drives me nuts.
Let's see.
Westbrook.
Let me see what these guys did with Anthony. Yeah, they reduced him. One place reduced him to 28 minutes.
Still pretty good.
It is still pretty good. Now, here's the question. This is always the question, is when you get news like this, the projection will go down and the ownership will go down. Which will be more, you know? Or is that just me like trying to find up some way to not to be lazy and just leave all my Cole Anthony exposure there where it is?
No, makes some sense to me.
Well, we still have no Fournier news, right? And it's 6:40. Well, they have a little time for that, I think.
Clarkson should get a little boost, right, from that?
You know what is actually kind of neat is that whatever you at least have some kind of idea what's going on in your lineups.
I think I like Clarkson.
Right? Well, it makes. I hope they're not going to start him or anything like that, right?
No, but
that's good. I mean, I like you. I know you.
Yeah.
30 minutes.
No, actually, we don't want him starting. You can't start anyway. But like, boy, that does feel pretty nice. Sacramento. Oh my God.
Clark has $100 more than Anthony. Let me do this. Let me just take this.
Well, one thing I want to say, like, I think Fred VanVleet's an awesome play, but even if he puts up 50, you're not going to be dead. I just want to throw that out there because there's something to be said for differentiating your builds a little bit. And if he and Powell are really going to each be 50%. Now, if Powell's a little different because he doesn't need to do all that much to get you there, and he might 10x. Like, he has that well within his range. That's not going to happen for a guy who's 8,100. I mean, yeah, it could happen. It's never happened for him before. I don't think it would happen, but just want to.
Dude, this is the nuts. I can't wait. I can't wait till this fires off. I want to see who you have end up with your big one so I could sweat. I don't even care about my own stuff tonight.
I'm trying to figure that part out. Is there any questions out there that anybody's got that I've missed over here?
I apologize. I haven't even looked at the
No. It's mine bad too. I mean, I've been distracted.
I just recommend I sat with VanVleet and Anunoby just in case Illinois Fox. It's fine by me.
Whatever happens too, if Steph is out, like that's the thing. Like, are we messing up by playing this early value? So like, really, that makes Powell an even better play because if Steph is out, Damian Lee and not as much Wanamaker, but both of them, I guess you could say, but Damian Lee especially would stand out. The thing is, you'd want to have another spot to even do that with him. You know what I mean? You'd want to play both of those guys. And then you'd end up with all the Giannis and everything, which is fine, which I think is what you'd want to do. Okay. So here we're going to edit my big lineups here. Boy.
I have a feeling that your lineup's going to be very different. Even after lock, I think.
Yeah, my lineup's always going to change. It's a work in progress always. I'm just seeing how much Tice I have right now on FanDuel before I do anything. I have him in two of my big buy-ins. I have Vooch and Robinson in my other two. On DraftKings, I currently have Tice in both my big ones, to be honest.
Okay.
Not sure in the stick one. And I have Robinson also in one with him.
Mitchell Robinson?
Yeah. He's just the right price. I mean, he fits perfectly for me. Don't know what else to say other than that. I'm getting off of Joe Harris on DraftKings. I think I'm going to try and scrap this Bertans thing. What do I do with the rest of this lineup is the question. I think maybe, yeah. Okay, let's play Powell over here.
If it's just fortunate that early game is not as big of a priority.
It is.
It is, you think?
No,
Oh,
no,
fortunate.
it's fortunate. I agree, it's fortunate.
Yeah, not everybody's got the Booker Blake Griffin stack in their biggest buy-in of the night, right?
I see a lot of things going off in Discord, guys. Anybody else can answer those questions? I clearly cannot do that right now because I can't even read the questions in chat because this is a big day. This is probably the biggest slate I've played in the last year almost.
Oh.
Wait, you're saying O to that or are you saying O to something else?
No, I said.
Oh. Let's go. Boy, trying to find a pivot off Tice is freaking hard, man.
Well, you don't want to play. You're not a taco guy, right?
I
had something. I had something. Wait a minute. I have
a couple taco lineups.
Oh no, you'd have to rebuild, but you can play Draymond Green over there. But,
Draymond Green, I like a lot on DraftKings.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, that's a good call, and that's what I have actually. Leaves me with in a funny sort of spot where it actually makes me want to play Chris Paul because I have 7,100 exactly. Maybe the answer is just this: we just wait a little longer and play RJ Barrett instead. I don't love it though. I don't like this matchup for RJ Barrett, but RJ Barrett is good enough to where he can go off anytime. Can't believe I'm saying those words, but it's true. Brandon Clark is another way of getting off of Tice. Okay, that's true. I didn't read that actually. I'm just looking at myself. I'm a little bit in no man's land over here, Sheets. Trying to figure this one out here.
I'm rebuilding a little bit with these new Cole Anthony projections. Let's see what it looks like.
Every time I look back at a player and I try and find a reason to justify playing him, like Chris Paul, and I see the game they went off, it's always against Sacramento.
That's really funny.
Every freaking time.
Any more information on this minutes business? So somebody said that he was hurt in his last game or something.
Cole Anthony, Gary Clark will start in place of Markelle Fultz and Aaron Gordon.
Okay.
I wonder if that's going to actually bump up their projections for Clark. You'd imagine they would have already predicted that, I guess, yeah. It would be weird if they didn't play Clark. I mean, hey, look, a little revenge game, all of Clark's old running mates never gave him the ball. Maybe he takes a few extra shots.
Yeah, well, his new running mates aren't going to give him the ball either.
Who are they? Who they are? Wait.
Is he relying? We
have the Orlando Magic lineup. That means we have the Orlando Magic lineup.
Oh, you got it?
Well, it's going to have to. If they announce that he's starting, then we have to have it.
Right.
Wait. Give it to us. Come on. They just said they're starting in place, but give us the actual. Oh my God, this is really tough. How can you not give it to us? What is the lineup? Here we go. Shoot. They announced him making his first start that Gary Clark would be replacing whatever, but they didn't say anything about Fournier, and there's nothing else. That's the worst report ever.
Oh my God.
Give me something. Jesus. I don't care. I'm rolling with a little bit of what's his name anyway.
Who?
One second. Sorry. Ross. Okay, center would be shit.
can't play this Jordan Bone, right?
I'm not playing him. I mean, look, it really depends on how much we think Cole Anthony's going to be limited. Fuck. Can't we please get a starting lineup? Please make things so much easier. All of these low usage Magic guys, but with when the usage guys go away, what do you think happens? Somebody's got to use it.
Yep. Gary Clark, really?
Favorite play at 6,600 or below sheets? It's only going to be holding for a few minutes anyway.
6,600 or below?
I think it's Marcus Smart. The problem is I already have Tatum and Tyson in the same lineup, but I'm not running it back at all in that lineup.
On DraftKings?
Yep.
Jesus, I don't like anybody.
It's
Drew Holiday?
Ross. I like Holiday a little bit, but not enough to do it.
That's a tough range. That's a tough spot. Barrett and Holiday and Smart and Elf.
I might end up with one Chris Paul in my big buy-in. I really might. I can't believe I'm going to do that. No, I can't do it. It's just too stupid. I just buy a tiny bit more time, Bobby. Okay, I'll do that.
All right, so we're at lock. You want me to leave this on for you for a little bit?
Yeah, please, for right now. And I'll take a look at some questions, guys, once I get to it. Cheat, you got to run right away, huh? Not even going to see the fruits of our labor.
Yeah, I do have to run. Hold on. Yeah. You know what? I hate to do this, but I can't leave this going.
Okay. All right, guys. Hey, good luck to everyone out there. I'll try and get a Discord when I'm done with my lineups.